All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on something that follows you pretty much everywhere you go online, working totally silently in the background. It's called browser fingerprinting, and, well, it can identify you even when you think you're being completely anonymous.
You know that creepy feeling, right? You've cleared your cookies, you fire up a private browsing window, but somehow those ads for that pair of shoes you looked at once just keep finding you. It feels like some kind of dark magic, but it's not. The answer isn't cookies. It's something way more precise.
The real culprit is what's called your browser fingerprint. And honestly, the name is perfect. Just like your real-life fingerprint, it's a unique identifier. But instead of the ridges on your skin, it's built by combining dozens and dozens of your computer's settings into a digital signature that can often pick you out of a crowd of millions.
So how in the world is this secret identity actually created? It happens in a flash, almost instantly, every single time you visit a website, through a process that is surprisingly detailed. Okay, so the moment you load a website, it runs a little script that quietly asks your browser a whole bunch of questions. All the answers, we're talking dozens of them, get thrown into a sort of digital blender and are churned into a single, unique code. That code is called a hash. That hash, that's your fingerprint, and it can be matched against a giant database to recognize you every time you show up.
So what kind of information are we really talking about here? Well, it starts with the basics, your browser type and your operating system, what language you use, your time zone, but then it gets way more specific, like the exact resolution of your screen, and even a complete list of every single font you have installed on your computer.
And believe me, it goes even deeper than that. These scripts can see what kind of processor your computer has, how much memory it's working with, and a list of all your browser plugins. But you know, the really powerful stuff comes from how your specific hardware performs certain tasks, like drawing graphics or processing sound. These tiny, imperceptible differences are what make your device truly stand out.
Let's just zoom in on one of the most clever techniques out there. It's called canvas fingerprinting. So, a website tells your browser to draw a hidden image. Now, because of tiny differences in your graphics card, your drivers, even your fonts, the way your computer actually renders that image will be slightly different from almost any other computer on the planet. That tiny variation gets converted into a code, and it becomes a really strong part of your unique digital ID.
Now, this all sounds a little invasive, doesn't it? So you're probably wondering, why does this technology even exist? Well, this is where the story gets a bit complicated. See, fingerprinting is a tool with two very different faces. It can be used as both a tracker and a guardian.
On the one hand, yeah, it's the engine of a lot of modern advertising. It's used to track you when cookies can't, to build these incredibly detailed profiles of your habits, and to link your activity across your phone, your laptop, and your tablet. But on the flip side, your bank uses that exact same technology to keep you safe, to notice when someone's trying to log into your account from a computer it doesn't recognize, or to stop automated bots from committing fraud. It's a true double-edged sword.
We've been throwing the word unique around a lot, but let's actually put a number on it. Just how unique is your browser's fingerprint really? The scale of this might actually surprise you.
Take a look at this number, 83.6%. What do you think that represents?
Well, that is the percentage of internet browsers with a fingerprint so distinct that it is literally one of a kind. That means for more than 4 out of every 5 of us, our personal combination of hardware and software settings is enough to identify us instantly, without needing a name, an email, or anything else.
Okay, so knowing you're likely one of a kind online can feel a little unnerving. But the story doesn't end there. You are not powerless in this. Let's dig into how you can start covering your digital tracks. Different privacy-focused browsers have different game plans. Firefox, for example, tries to just block the tracking scripts from ever running at all. Brave uses this really clever method called randomization, which basically gives you a slightly different fingerprint every time you browse. And then you have the Tor browser, which goes for standardization. It tries to make all its users look completely identical, so you just blend into the crowd.
Okay, so this brings us to a huge, and I mean huge, misconception. A lot of us rely on incognito mode or a VPN for privacy, but do they actually do anything to stop this kind of tracking? The simple answer is no,
They really don't. Incognito or private mode, that only stops your browsing history from being saved on your own computer. It does absolutely nothing to change the fingerprint your browser shows to the websites you visit. And while a VPN is fantastic for hiding your location by changing your IP address, your IP is just one tiny piece of your overall fingerprint. All those other identifiers, your fonts, your screen size, your graphics card, they all stay exactly the same.
And here's where things get really counterintuitive. In the whole world of online privacy, there's this fascinating little catch-22, sometimes called the privacy paradox. It turns out, sometimes the harder you try to hide, the more you actually stand out.
So here's the key takeaway. You can't be truly invisible online. It's just not possible. If you block too many standard features or use a really rare combo of privacy tools, that unusual setup, well, that becomes its own very unique fingerprint. The real goal isn't to be a ghost. It's to either blend in with the crowd, like the Tor browser tries to do, or to be a chameleon, constantly changing your appearance, like Brave does.
And all of this leaves us with a really fundamental question. We've seen how fingerprinting is used for both surveillance advertising and for essential security. So in this digital world that we've built, is the idea of perfect, untraceable privacy a feature we should be fighting for, or is it a bug that could actually break the very systems we rely on to keep us safe? Something to think about.